Live from the Mounds Mall Special Events Studios, it's TrackTalk on News Talk 1240 WHBU, Fox Sports 1340, and 102.9 in Muncie. Now here's Rick and Gary with everything you need to know about Anderson Speedway and Anderson Speedway's TrackTalk.
Good evening. Welcome to Track Talk. Rick Dawson, Gary Long, live from the Mounds Mall studio.
We are.
On this Tuesday evening. I'm wore out.
I know. You've been yawning since I've walked in here. What's wrong with you today? Just no energy? Or?
I guess I'm wore out from the season. My body can't take it anymore. We just had a few weeks, or a week off a couple of weeks ago. Guess maybe I need to go to the White River Club or somewhere.
We did have a really good show Saturday night, though.
We did.
5 divisions.
Started out really neat. It was Muros Shrine night. We raised some money for the Shrine hospitals in the process, but we had a parade of all the Shrine units. That was pretty cool.
We did.
Mini Mystics put on a little race.
And for the people that didn't know, we did have a tribute to one of our own Saturday night.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
It is.
This was one of them hard weeks at Anderson Speedway, and again, we couldn't do it without the support of all of our fans and competitors at the family. But if you don't know already, one of our longtime safety people, we've talked about him quite a bit on the show, and he's really been through it the last couple of years. It's Steve Holt. Lost his battle with cancer last Wednesday, and it's really tough. Steve was a great guy. I mean, if you were at the funeral home or the funeral or heard anything about it, I mean, the whole town of Pendleton and more showed their support for Steve. And the funeral procession, I guess, was really, really touching and emotional. They have an antique fire truck down at Pendleton that they put Steve's remains on and led the parade to the cemetery, and it was pretty cool. The pace car and safety truck was there, and we did what we could at the Speedway Saturday night as a tribute to Steve. Steve would not have wanted all this attention. He's a very humble,
yes, he is,
humble individual, but a great guy to be around. I mean, he just lit up the racetrack whenever he was there. He was there actually a couple of weeks ago.
He was,
and I fortunately got to spend some time with him and talk, and he didn't look good at the time, but you never give up hope, and Steve didn't.
He wasn't giving up
until the very end, and it was real ironic. And I think it was a blessing from above. He was baptized at 3:00 last Wednesday and passed away at 3:30. So we know where Steve's at now, and he's at that big racetrack in the sky. But we do send our hearts and prayers go out to Ruthie and the whole family.
Yes,
because Steve was racing through and through.
He was. One of his goals this year was to work the little 500, and he did a fantastic job, as he always does. And was trying for the Redbud 300, but didn't quite make that one. But he was there in spirit with us, and then a couple weeks ago he was out there and come talk to a few of the guys there, and he says, "I'm taking notes and letting you guys know what you're doing wrong." So Steve, all the way to the end.
A great guy, and we're really going to miss him at the track.
Yes, we are.
So again, our hearts and prayers out to Ruthie and the whole family. On some good news, health-wise, Charlie Bright, our parking lot individual, takes care of the parking lot and does a lot of running around for us on Saturday nights. We had looked like a pretty bleak diagnosis last week, but on a second opinion at the hospital, and he was able to, it looks like it's not as bad as we thought. It looks like it might just be an infection that really affected him strangely, I got to say, because I was around him when it happened. But it looks like they've figured out what it was, and they're going to be able to take care of it with medication. So
wonderful.
So prayers do work.
Yes,
it looks like Charlie might be with us again here in the not-too-distant future. Patty and her whole family were out there Saturday night. So
that's good news.
That's good news and with Charlie. So never say never.
Never say never.
But we had a pretty exciting night of racing Saturday night. We had the CRA Street Stocks there. We had actually 3 different divisions of front-wheel drives, and we'll start with those. The front-wheel drive oval, Jarrett Keller set fast time, and Josh Tharp, who was sitting in for Jerry Dane, in the 9 car because Jerry had a medical emergency. A family out in California was not able to attend, so Josh Tharp got in the car, won the first heat. Billy Hooton in the 52 car won the second heat. And where am I at?
I don't know where you're
Boy,
at.
did this ever bounce around. I'm pretty sure Billy Hooton won the feature.
I think he did win the
Yeah,
feature.
he did. There it is. Yeah, Billy Hooton, and I think that was his
first one.
His first
Yes.
feature.
He's
I think
pretty
we had
excited about
3 of those this Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken, maybe
Yes.
4. But Billy Hooton, driving for Mike Whitaker, won the feature. Marshall Clark was right behind him with Austin McKinney, Jarrett Keller, and J.D. Blankenship, who set in the 05 car of Devin Lane, came in 5th. So, but congratulations to Billy. I mean, he's a good guy to be around and a lot of fun. Had a lot of issues this year. It seems like mechanical and then incidents
got
on the
worked
track.
out.
But he got it figured out Saturday night and won. Front-wheel drive figure 8s, it was kind of like a repeat.
Yeah.
This
guy is on fire this year, Nick Warner.
Can't run for the points because he's won this division before, but Nick Warner pretty much dominated the evening, and points leader Randy Owens finished second in the feature. Jeff Williams was third. Elliot McKinney was fourth in a car that he worked on all night long, but was able to get it in 4th place in the feature. And Brian McKinney in the 2 car finished 5th. Then we had our new division, Kevin, the Pro Compacts. Kevin Harmon set fast time. Chris Teepee won the heat, and Chris Teepee won the feature. And Kevin Harmon, Ron Phipps, Larry Hughes, and Jeff Williams rounded out the top 5 there. What else did we? Oh, we had Indy Fast Carts.
Oh, they put on a great show. They really did.
And they have a lot of fun
yes,
doing
they
it
do.
too. I tell you, what's his name? Bruce Harper. Good,
yes.
He's a windbag. I tell him that.
He has fun.
I say that in jest because he's fun to be around. He's at the track a lot, but I seen him after the feature, and he was just all excited with himself. He finished the feature.
That was been an accomplishment for him this year because he's been fighting with that car.
But I'm telling you, the guys are having a tough time with Angie Gooden because she won another feature.
Yes, she did. And I'll tell you what, every time she wins, she comes up there. I think it's 2 times now, and I say, you only do this just so you come up here and see me.
Yeah. And I tell you, when she comes in the racetrack, she's got a smile on her face. She just lights up the whole pit area,
and the whole crowd. The crowd loves her.
It's one of those folks you just really like to be around. Fortunately, we got a lot of those in our pits.
We do.
Then we had the CRA Street Stocks, and yes, there's going to be commentary on this one, but first let's talk about who finished and the feature. It was a 75-lap feature. It was really a good race for the first, how many laps?
60.
60 laps. It was a great race. Dustin Burge ended up winning the feature. I believe that's his first feature of the year, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations to Dustin. He's got a really good car. Dustin's one of those guys that has come so far in racing.
He's so smart and he's so patient. He sits back there and waits and watches. And
he can get in. They're one of them guys that can get into about anything and drive it. We've seen him in a late model.
Absolutely.
And he's done a good job, made a little rookie mistake in the one race, but Dustin Burge is a great young man.
Watch for him.
And watch him come up the line. And our last year's point champion, Calvin Parham, finished second. Jason Atkinson was third. Andrew Cook made it to the top 5 in 4th. And James Kirby the third was in 5th. And it was funny. I just happened to be back at the tech pad when they came off after that race and watched them come down the ramp. And the first 3 cars came in, and I was standing beside R.C., Andrew's dad, waiting on him to come back to tech, and we walk over the ramp. There goes Andrew right back to the pits.
Uh-oh.
And me and R.C. both, and I try to do it because it's easy to forget sometimes to go straight to tech, and if I'm there,
we're not used to doing it,
and we follow the car and it doesn't stop and nobody touches it and it gets to tech, we usually have a little lenience. At least I was going to make sure with CRA. And me and RC both went running back there. Well, come to find out they were only teching the top 3. But anyway, congratulations to Andrew. That was a great finish. But more importantly, congratulations to Dustin Burge. Now, during that race, I'm going to tell you what happened. and it's one of those things that just makes me sick to my stomach, and it made a lot of fans and other competitors the same way. At Anderson Speedway especially, but in racing in general, there is some bumping and banging, and some things happen on the racetrack that probably shouldn't. You know, cars get pinched off, you get a car that's blocking and not picking a lane, and I don't like that really bad, because it takes away from good side-by-side racing with the fans, and that did happen on a restart. However, when a racer cannot control his emotions and uses his vehicle as a weapon, first of all, it's very cowardly, and second, because you have to use the machine to do it, a potentially deadly machine. I don't tolerate it. We don't tolerate it at Anderson Speedway, and won't. And it doesn't matter who's behind the wheel of that car. You take retaliatory action that is blatantly obvious and intentional, you're going to pay the price. And so goes the driver of the 27 car, who the biggest part of the race, the 86 car, Brandon Meffert, I think it's 83 car, Brandon Meffert led the race.
He drove a great race.
And admittedly, I watched it, and it was a great race for 60 laps. Brandon was using a lot of the racetrack, and I'll give him that, and that's CRA's. You know, it was their race. They can take care of it however they want with regard to that. However, it doesn't warrant being taken out, and it was ironic and coincidental. And I know the driver of the 27 car is remorseful for what he done. However, he done it, and it's happened. Just needs to man up, admit it, take the penalty, and go on. And we'll see what happens with that. But he just turned the 83 car right into the turn 3 barricades where we've had issues before. Fortunately, they worked the way they're supposed to. And they have the last couple of times. I just wish we would quit testing it out. But they did do their job. No one got hurt, thank goodness. Somebody did get hurt there about 3 years ago. It just happened to be the individual whose car hit those barricades because he was pushed up there Saturday night, and that just contributed to the emotion of the situation. But it doesn't matter to me where it would have happened on the track. I think it was just coincidence. I don't think that thought even went through the 27 driver's mind. But it was deemed intentional I didn't personally see the direct hit. I seen the aftermath with the barricade coming apart. But it was deemed intentional by 100% of the people that I talked to and talked to me. Mm-hmm. Fans who didn't even have a dog in the fight just said that was just awful.
Yes.
So the driver of the 27 car has been suspended indefinitely by CRA, and he was disqualified from the event. And he has also been suspended indefinitely from Anderson Speedway. Indefinitely can mean forever. Yes. I can tell you it's definitely this season.
Right.
But who knows? I mean, it was just one of those situations that should never have happened. I'm not going to tolerate it. And like I said, I don't care who it is. When you're in that race car, you're all the same.
Just like you said, you got to keep your emotions in check.
And it should be a warning to any of the others. You know, it's worked out really good, and things, not that things were just terrible, but there's a few bad apples in every bunch. I am so proud when I go to other racetracks, and you were just at one
absolutely.
Sunday. Our competitors, by and large, are the best competitors at any short track in the country.
I'll vouch for that, 100%.
And I am not about, and haven't over the years, and there's been let a few bad apples ruin the whole bunch. We still have maybe a couple of bad apples out there who we've tried to work with, but we now have a zero tolerance policy for stupidity.
Yes.
I found out you can't fix stupid. I can't deal with stupid either, but there's something about sometimes when a racer puts on a helmet, they just
their whole demeanor changes.
Their whole personality changes, and it's the competitiveness. I understand that, but most drivers can control that emotion. So, and it happens at the highest level of the sport. I mean, I remember Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski a couple of years ago at Charlotte. I think I said at the time Carl Edwards would not drive again after throwing him in the air and almost throwing him in the stands with his race car. Same thing here. And we got a few bad apples. Hopefully they're learning and will take heed of what happened Saturday night, and will will check their emotions at the gate.
Absolutely.
We're here to race and have fun. And like I said, had that not happened, that would have been probably one of the best street stock races. We've had some great street stock races this year.
We've had a lot of good races.
It would have been probably one of the best ones that we had. And I don't want to take a thing away from Dustin Burge because he definitely earned that victory. I do feel for Brandon Mefford. He had that race. He didn't have it in the bag or won, but he was right up there at the top.
Challenger.
And I felt bad that that's racing, but the way that happened, accidents are going to happen, and you can't do anything about them sometimes. Right. They're just accidents. That was not an accident. I'm convinced. I've seen films. I've listened. I've talked to people. I know what happened. The driver knows what happened. Now let's fix it.
Right.
So.
And add to that, Rick, we should commend our track crew for getting that put back together so quick. Unfortunately, since we've had to do it about 2 or 3 times now, we're getting a lot quicker. I think it's 15, 20 minutes, and we had that back together, and we was back racing again.
Yeah,
so
Kenny's
hats off to all of them.
Actually working on, he's worked on it again this week to work on getting that fixed a little faster.
Really? Yeah, so hats off to everybody. They did a great job.
We are going to step back. We got a big weekend coming up.
It's my favorite.
One of the big ones.
It's my favorite.
Your favorite.
Yes.
There's been some really good nights for me on that night and some really bad ones. But this is going to be a good one.
Yes.
And we're going to talk to one of our competitors right after we stop and take a break for these messages. You're listening to Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. We will be right back.
We've been in business since 1983, not because of high-pressure tactics or over-the-top gimmicks, but because our customers know that at Sam Pierce Chevrolet, the car buying experience is all about you.
Did you know, Jimmy, that we are East Central Indiana's highest volume Chevy dealer?
Yeah, Joe, being veteran-owned, we sell more Chevys to more people than any other Chevy dealer in East Central Indiana.
Because the best Chevy deals are in the country, and not only do we practice what we advertise, which is no games, no gimmicks, no pressure, we deliver.
Just east of I-69 on Highway 67 in Delville or online at sampiercechevy.com.
MoFab Incorporated, where imagination is the only limitation. We serve residential, commercial, industrial, and municipal customers as your metals warehouse and fabrication center. We do all types of fabrication using the latest technology with unmatched speed, accuracy, and durability on any substrate. Our ornamental division handles all types of interior and exterior work, including rails, fences, gates, and more. So contact us at mofabbing.com to fabricate your dreams of tomorrow today.
Hi, I'm Tom Bannon of the Anderson-Madison County Visitors Bureau. Check us out online at visitandersonmadisoncounty.com to get information about local events, to find that perfect venue for your wedding reception, or for great ideas on how to spend a day in Madison County. You can also stay up to date on the entertainment scene by liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, or picking up one of our free magazines. Visit AndersonMadisonCounty.com. The fun starts here.
50 years ago, Tom Raper sold his first camper off a dirt lot in Richmond, Indiana. Since then, Tom Raper RVs has grown to be one of the largest RV dealers in America, selling the top brands at the best prices. That's why folks like you come from all over the Midwest to buy their recreational vehicles from Tom Raper RVs. Why, we reckon we've sold over 100,000 campers since we started. That's a lot of campers. That's a lot of fun. Tom Raper RVs in Richmond or online at tomraper.com.
Heart attack? Stroke? Serious injury? A sudden health crisis can happen to anyone, at any time. So when bad things happen, choose good people. St. Vincent Anderson Regional Hospital has the area's most advanced emergency care, with a state-designated Level 3 trauma center, an internationally accredited chest pain center for heart attack patients, and advanced certification for primary stroke care. We have all the resources to deliver the care you need for any serious or life-threatening emergency. St. Vincent Anderson Regional is the only emergency department in the area with an on-site helicopter. And our $27 million state-of-the-art surgery pavilion opens later this year. Bad things can happen to anyone. Thankfully, good people are ready to help. Choose emergency care from St. Vincent Anderson Regional, the spirit of caring. Visit stvincent.org/Anderson Regional to learn more.
Honey, stop! Oh my gosh, that's Diggity's back there.
You mean the new Diggity's Frozen Treat Factory?
I heard it's unbelievable. Everybody's talking about it. They have everything yummy.
Yeah, I heard they have ice cream, yogurt, custard, sorbet.
And gelato, plus fruit smoothies, and that's just the beginning.
I heard Diggity's has over 250 toppings, not 30 or 40 like those other places, and you can even get the candy to go separately.
We can eat outside on their huge patio by the fire, too.
Okay, let's see. Frozen yogurt, ice cream, custard, sorbet, and gelato with 250 toppings? Or a plain old frozen yogurt shop with limited toppings?
Diggity's it is!
Diggity's wants to cater your event. Diggity's can set up at your event inside or out and provide delicious smoothies, frozen cappuccinos, candies, and frozen treats to your guests. Diggity's is perfect for weddings, company picnics, group outings, sporting events, festivals, you name it, just call Diggity's. 765-393-0033 today for more information.
This program is a presentation by Anderson Speedway. The content contained in this program is that of the host and guests and not this station.
Bay City Rollers?
It is.
No? Bay City something.
I'm not sure. That's an old one. That's an old one, Wade. I don't think we're going to get that.
Kiss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Kiss, yeah.
We're back. Anderson Speedway Track Talk. Never did I think I would be on a radio show that they had Kiss as the lead-in music.
You have now.
We're back. Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. Gary Mong, Rick Dawson, live from the Mounds Mall Special Events Studio. Our good buddy Jim Mosiette with Great Deals Savings Magazine has joined us this evening. You doing okay tonight, Mr. Mosiette?
By golly, finer than a frog here.
That's great. We have got a big Saturday night coming up. It's the big one. First of all, we got front-wheel drive figure eights, Thunder Roadsters, and the Vors Compact Touring Series is going to be back this week. That's great to have them.
Last
the first
time they
week
were here, had 20+.
Yeah, so look forward to that. But then to cap off the evening, the 65th Annual National Crown.
Oldest continuous stock car race in the country.
We believe to be the oldest continuous stock car race in the country, featuring the Winged Outlaw Figure 8 Series. And on the line with us right now is a veteran of that series, and I believe a winner this year, if I'm not correct, Mike Hadley. Mike, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. I really appreciate you taking the time with us this evening. Tell us a little bit about your season and what you're looking forward to Saturday night.
Oh, I can tell you from as far as the season goes, really we couldn't be any happier. We're just glad to be able to run Anderson. I think that's about as exciting for probably the stands, for the guys in the stands watching as much of this for a driver's run. And I don't think you could get a better figure eight track than what you guys have up there. And as far as Saturday night goes, it's going to be a good one. That's the one we want to win. I think everybody looks forward to in the figure eight cars to run 2 races a year. That's the 3-hour and by far the national crown.
Well, I know last year Jeff Shackelford won, and I think it took us about 2 months to pull him down out of the clouds. It's kind of like the little 500 is the sprint cars for the figure eights, and I don't want to take a thing away from the 3-hour down at the Speedrome because that's a great race, but the National Crown has a long history with Anderson Speedway, and my hat's off to you guys because I can't hardly stand to watch it. I get so excited. Gary, you got a couple of questions for Mike.
Yeah, Mike, this is Gary. I had the privilege of going down to Kentucky Motor Speedway and actually flagging for you for WFS on Sunday, and that was a unique track that you guys raced on down there, as far as the figure eight track goes.
Oh boy, I don't have anything to compare that to. I mean, really, that's one all on its own. There, it's as if you've got a figure eight track on one end, and then you've got almost a road course on the other end.
What they've kind of done at that track there, they took it from a 1/4 mile to a 3/8 mile, and they lengthened the turns 1 and 2, but they never changed the figure eight course. It's still conducive to a 1/4 mile, so that's why one end's longer than the other.
Yeah,
and it looked like it was a little bumpy through that crossover too.
Oh, once again, that's that's the only place that I can say that the car is actually it comes off the ground on 2 different spots of the track. Sometimes I wish I had a Baja truck.
Now, you're currently leading the WFS series points right now, aren't you?
Yes, we are. I know we've got the Crown coming up, and then I believe we get to come back to Anderson for I think it's 2 more shows. But we're leading. We've had some great finishes at Anderson this year. A couple seconds and a third. We're hoping to better that yet this weekend. Like I said, I just want to thank you guys up there for allowing us to run there, because that's number one on my list of figure 8 tracks to run.
Good, that's good to hear.
It's indeed a pleasure. Mike, for our fans, what car number are you?
Number 4.
Number 4, and I'm sure you've got a lot of folks you'd like to thank for helping you put that car on the racetrack.
Oh, man, yes, I do. First and foremost, I got to start with my dad. He's by far the number one for putting in the hours, the rest of the crew, and then just the sponsors, Ram Construction Group, Yard Arm, Advanced Auto Sales, T8 Race Cars by Bruce Tunney. He builds one heck of a chassis, and Curry Extreme Racing Engines. He also can put together a great power plant.
Well, all the great names in figure 8 racing will be at Anderson Speedway Saturday night, headlined by Mr. Mike Hadley, and we're really looking forward to seeing you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right, we'll see you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Mike Hadley, leader of the WOFS points right now, going to be at Anderson Speedway in the number 4 car. Great individual,
yes,
and fun to talk to. Real quickly, at Columbus Speedway last week with the CRA Super Speedway in the first Bud St. Amant Memorial Race, 174 laps, Travis Braden won that race Saturday night, and they had a little rain delay, but they got the race in with our good friends, the Knuckles family over at Columbus. Saturday night also, and this was just an example of the fans and competitors of Anderson Speedway. You should be very proud of yourself. And this isn't the first night this happened. This happens very often, but between the 50-50 and Chris Hacker was out there raising money for his 24 Kids to Camp campaign, raised raised over $2,000.
Wow.
Just Saturday night for those 2 charities. And that's just
great.
one example. I mean, the Shrine on July the 4th raised $1,200. We also, that doesn't include the money that was raised for the Shrine hospitals, which I don't have that final figure yet, but that was upwards of $500 or $600. So you folks should really be proud of yourself, and it puts me in a great position to be proud of
Yes.
Of what we're doing at Anderson Speedway for the fans. But again, this Saturday night, it's the 65th annual National Crown. Gates will open at 5 o'clock. We will qualify at 6:30 and begin the heat races at 8. And you can go to our website, our new website at AndersonSpeedway.com, and get the complete schedule of events for Saturday night. Also like us on Facebook and on Twitter. Watch us. Do whatever you do on Twitter. I've never twitted.
Just like you said, it's going to be a who's in figure 8 racing this Saturday night. The best of the best will be there.
And sometime, I've talked to Jim Hanks, sometime the little 500 is going to be aired on Comcast, but I'm not real sure when.
Sometime soon.
With that, we appreciate you spending the time with us this evening. We've had a great time. We look forward to seeing you this Saturday night at Anderson Speedway. And we'll be right back here next Tuesday night. Thanks to Gary Mong, Jim Mojed, I'm Rick Dawson. Have a great week, and we'll see you at the track.